Good afternoon to the members of the HUB24 Super Fund. My name is Catherine Robson and I'm Chair of HTFS Nominees Proprietary Limited, or HTFS, the trustee of the fund. On behalf of the trustee board and the senior management team, I'd like to welcome you to HUB24 Super Fund's annual member meeting for the year ending 30 June 2025. I'd first like to acknowledge the traditional owners of the lands on which we meet today and pay respects to elders past and present. Before we commence the formal part of the proceedings, I'd like to run through a few housekeeping items regarding today's online meeting. We've scheduled a question and answer session as the last item on the agenda. We have already received questions from members and we'll be answering some of those during the meeting. If you have other questions, please submit these during the meeting. To do this, click on the live Q&A button located on the right-hand side of your screen and start typing your question. The answers to all questions raised, together with the minutes of this meeting and the recording, will be available on the Fund's website in coming weeks. It's important to note, though, that we cannot answer any questions that relate to your personal circumstances in this meeting due to privacy constraints. In this instance, we encourage you to contact the fund directly. This meeting is being recorded, so if you have any technical issues or cannot stay for the entire meeting, please note that a full recording will be made available to all members within 4 weeks of this meeting on the fund's website. And finally, information provided in this meeting is of a general nature only and does not consider your personal objectives or take into account your personal financial situation. If you need assistance, you should either contact the fund or seek advice from a licensed financial advisor. You can also refer to the product disclosure statement and your most recent annual member statement for further product-related information. Please contact the fund directly should you need a copy of these documents. Today's agenda has the meeting scheduled to run for approximately 45 minutes. In attendance, we have a quorum of our directors from the trustee board, along with David Warren, the General Manager of Superannuation Services from Equity Trustees, as well as Deb Latimer, Chief Risk Officer for HUB24, and Adam Cusio from Deloitte Australia, the fund's auditor. The agenda for the meeting includes my opening remarks, after which you'll hear from Deb, who will provide an overview of the fund and its key achievements. David Warren will then cover the trustees' review of the fund, including investment market performance and outlook, and the findings of the most recent member outcome assessments. David will then hand back to Deb, who'll share some of the planned future priorities and initiatives for the fund. The board, auditor, and presenters will then address some members' questions and provide answers. Now turning to my chair's remarks. I'd like to start by acknowledging that 2025 was a challenging year for many, and we remain deeply committed to supporting members to achieve their retirement aspirations and having confidence in a healthy, robust superannuation system. As trustee, our role is to protect your super and ensure it's managed carefully, responsibly, and with integrity. We're committed to always act in your best interests. Every decision we make is focused on helping you build financial security and confidence for your retirement. One recent development I'll cover briefly today is the recent announcement by HUB24 of their intention to exercise their call option to acquire HTFS Nominees Proprietary Limited, a subsidiary of Equity Trustees, and the current trustee of the HUB24 Super Fund. I'd like to just provide briefly an update on the ongoing process relating to the trustee arrangements for the HUB24 Super Fund. HUB24 has commenced due diligence as part of this process, and the development, if it proceeds, will mean that instead of using the outsourced services provided by our superannuation business, HUB24 will deliver the trustee services internally by acquiring HTFS Nominees Proprietary Limited, currently a wholly owned subsidiary of EQT Holdings Limited, but the process is subject to regulatory approvals. This call option was put in place at the beginning of Equity Trustees' relationship with HUB24 as part of the initial agreement when HTFS Nominees was appointed as trustee for the fund in July 2020. The possibility of exercising the call option has been regularly reviewed by both parties and is ultimately a decision to be made by HUB24 based on their business objectives. We're working constructively together on the plan to take effect if and when the call option is exercised, and we anticipate the transition would need 9 to 12 months to complete and is subject to regulatory approvals. It's important to emphasise that this transition is not immediate. There are a number of steps required, including detailed planning and regulatory approvals to ensure the ongoing protection of member interests. This means that the process will take time and no changes will occur until all requirements have been met. Throughout this period, we remain committed to ensuring that the fund continues to be managed in accordance with all regulatory and governance obligations. There will be no interruption to trustee services to members. Members will be updated as the process progresses via the usual member communication channels through HUB24. I'd like now to share some important updates on supervisory and compliance developments that impact trustee and members across the superannuation industry. Firstly, the Financial Accountability Regime, or FAR, which began in March 2025, strengthens how trustees, directors, and senior executives are held responsible for their actions. It sets clear standards for governance and conduct so that your fund is managed with strong oversight and transparency. This helps ensure decisions are made with care and always with members' interests in mind. Another new prudential standard called CPS 230 began in July 2025. It focuses on improving how funds manage operational risk and maintain strong business operations. It also strengthens how we manage third-party service providers, helping to keep services reliable and your information safe. This helps your fund continue to operate effectively and protect your information and savings, even when challenges occur. I'd now like to move to regulatory changes which occurred over the year, beginning with the key rates and thresholds that define our superannuation system. From 1 July 2025, the superannuation guarantee reached 12%, completing the final scheduled step of the program that began several years ago. This means that for salary and wages paid from the 1st of July 2025, employers are required to contribute 12% of ordinary time earnings to super. At the same time, the concessional contributions cap remains at $30,000 and the non-concessional cap is $120,000, with the bring forward limit being $360,000 on eligibility. The general transfer balance cap also increased to $20 million from the 1st of July 2025. For members starting their first retirement income stream after that date, the personal cap is $2 million. For members already receiving an income stream, proportional indexation applies based on how much of the previous cap had been used. While we don't expect the superannuation guarantee to increase in coming years, the other figures I've mentioned are adjusted annually to ensure that superannuation limits stay in step with inflation. Further, these measures all contribute to the purpose of superannuation, which was enshrined in legislation in November 2024 to preserve savings to deliver income for a dignified retirement alongside government support in an equitable and sustainable way. One of the most positive social developments in recent years is the introduction of superannuation on government-funded paid parental leave. As of the 1st of July 2025, eligible parents will receive a 12% super contribution paid into their nominated fund. The Australian Tax Office will pay these contributions as a lump sum after the end of the financial year in which the leave was taken. This initiative helps to close the gap in super balances between men and women and supports parents who take time away from work to raise their families. Turning now to tax settings for very large balances, the government's original plan was to introduce a 30% tax on earnings associated with balances above $3 million from the 1st of July 2025. However, in October 2025, the government announced changes to that approach. The revised proposal would apply to realised earnings only, rather than the previously proposed unrealised gains, and would introduce a tiered rate of 30% for the portion of balances between $3 and $10 million and 40% for balances above $10 million. These thresholds would be indexed, and the proposed start date is now the 1st of July 2026. The measure has not yet been legislated and will keep members informed once the law is finalised. Another area of focus this year has been payday super. Many employers currently pay super contributions quarterly, meaning that employees potentially miss out on the super returns in the period between payday and the end of the quarter. Payday super will require employers to contribute to super every pay cycle, with contributions expected to reach funds within just a few days of payday. The legislation was released in draft form in March 2025, and the current plan is for it to commence on the 1st of July 2026. The ATO has published implementation guidance to help employers and funds prepare. These reforms aim to reduce unpaid super and give employees faster visibility of their contributions. As we look beyond the key figures, the focus is also on helping members move smoothly into retirement. The Retirement Income Covenant, which came into effect in 2022, continues to inform the way trustees support members in retirement. Each fund must maintain a clear strategy to help members balance income, risk, and flexibility in retirement. Our fund continues to refine its retirement income strategy and to expand the tools, resources, and advice pathways that help members plan with confidence. In addition to the Retirement Income Covenant, the government's other key area of focus is service standards, after it came to light that a number of super funds were not meeting community expectations around timeliness of death benefit and insurance claims. As a result, the government has announced that it will introduce mandatory service standards for APRA-regulated super funds. These standards will set clear expectations around how funds handle key member services, particularly the timely and compassionate processing of death benefits, the fair and efficient handling of insurance claims, and the delivery of clear, respectful, and accessible communication to members and their families. While it may take a number of years before these standards become law, the expectation is clear. Superannuation is more than just an investment vehicle, and members should be able to expect quality services from their fund. At a system level, cybersecurity continues to be a key area of focus across the superannuation sector. Super funds hold sensitive personal and financial information, which makes them a very attractive target for cybercrime. Across the industry, trustees are expected to maintain strong governance, controls, and incident response arrangements to protect member data and assets. Regulators such as APRA and ASIC continue to emphasise the importance of cyber resilience, including system security, third-party risk management, and clear communication with members if incidents occur. Members also play a really important role by protecting their own information, using secure passwords, and remaining alert to scams and impersonation attempts. Alongside cybersecurity, artificial intelligence is increasingly being discussed across the financial services industry, including superannuation. At an industry level, AI is generally viewed as a tool that can assist with data analysis, operational efficiency, and member communications when it's used appropriately and responsibly. Regulators have made it clear that the use of AI does not remove trustee accountability, and that decisions affecting members must remain fair, explainable, and compliant with the law. As this area continues to evolve, trustees are expected to apply strong governance and risk management to any use of advanced technology. It's also important to recognise the broader picture of consolidation and growth across the industry. As of June 2025, total Australian superannuation assets reached approximately $4.3 trillion, with around $3 trillion held in APRA-regulated funds, such as this one. The industry continues to merge and consolidate to achieve greater efficiency and scale, which brings benefits for members through reduced costs and improved investment opportunities, whilst also increasing expectations for governance and service. Before closing, I'd like to remind all members to take time to regularly review your super. Check your balance, your insurance cover, and your investment settings. If you're planning parental leave, make sure your fund details are up to date. And if you have a high balance or expect to reach one of the thresholds we've discussed today, consider how the proposed tax changes might affect you. For personalised guidance, please contact the fund or seek professional financial advice from a licensed advisor or tax specialist. This year is about building fairness, improving integrity, and lifting service for members. You benefit from higher super guarantee, the introduction of super on paid parental leave, and the evolving retirement system designed to give you more confidence and control. So thank you for joining us today, and I'll now hand you over to Deb Latimer, Chief Risk Officer of HUB24, for further information about the fund and its achievements in the 2025 financial year. Thanks, Deb.
Thank you, Catherine, and good afternoon to everyone here today. I'm Deb Latimer, Chief Risk Officer for HUB24 Limited. It's great to be here today and my privilege to speak to you about HUB24 Super. I'll start by providing a brief overview of the fund and highlight focus areas and key achievements in the financial year to 30 June 2025. It's been another fantastic year of growth for HUB24 Super. As at 30 June 2025, the fund had $48 billion in member assets and more than 184,000 members in total, including Clearview Life Solution members. HUB24 Super is ranked first for net inflows when compared to all super funds for members rolling their superannuation into the fund, further reflecting the quality, competitiveness, and popularity of our offer. This growth and our reputation as a market leader are significant. It enables us to continue to invest in the fund and bring the benefits of scale to you as members, promoting our ongoing commitment to delivering choice, flexibility, innovative technology, and value to you and your advisor. Members and their advisors have access to an extensive range of investment options, which go through a well-established, robust review process and ongoing monitoring. HUB24 Super also provides members with a group insurance offering that members can opt into, as well as supporting access to a range of 4 retail insurance offers and a standalone retail insurance product, Life Solutions, provided by Clearview Life. This provides members and their advisors a broad range of choice to ensure insurance needs can be met. HUB24 fulfills multiple roles in the delivery of services to members, including fund promotion, meaning we are responsible for the promotion of the fund, with the aim of attracting and retaining members and their advisors. Another key role we play is administration, meaning we manage things like answering member calls, responding to your inquiries, and implementing all member transactions. Let me now outline the areas of focus and key achievements in the past year for the fund. At HUB24, our purpose is empowering better financial futures together. And for members, this is reflected in our commitment to continually enhance and evolve HUB24 Super to ensure it can meet members' needs now and into the future. Over the last year, we have continued to expand investment choice for members. In doing so, HUB24 applies a well-established, robust process for assessing investments, involving our specialist investment team with deep experience, external research, oversight by the HUB24 Investment Committee, and trustee approval for additions to HUB24 Super. As important as the investments we add to the menu are the investments we don't. Our investment review process ensured members were protected against potential loss resulting from the recent Shield Master Trust and First Guardian Master Fund failures. These investments were assessed, were not considered appropriate, and were not added to the HUB24 super menu. Rest assured, we continually monitor investments already on our menu to ensure they remain appropriate for our members. Protecting our members' personal information and financial information remains a high priority. And during the financial year, HUB24 introduced multi-factor authentication, helping to protect your account against unauthorised access. We continued to invest in enhancing the customer experience to ensure that you and your advisor can manage your account easily and effectively. This included the launch of Engage, the next evolution of our market-leading reporting capability. Engage leverages technology to enable your advisor to provide you with clear, interactive, and highly visual and customised reports that show all investments held both on and off the HUB24 platform in just a few clicks. In addition, we introduced online forms to enable your advisor to more efficiently and securely manage transfers between accounts, such as when moving from super to pension. Your advisor is also now able to elect on your behalf a specific day or date for pension payments to be made. This enhancement provides greater flexibility in aligning pension payments with your individual cash flow preferences. Further to these improvements, regulatory changes continue to be delivered behind the scenes, and as part of our core responsibilities, we ensure you are suitably notified of any changes that have direct impacts on you. HUB24 Super is part of the HUB24 platform, which is recognised among financial advisors and the industry as a market leader in technology, investment choice, reporting, and client experience. These awards and independent acknowledgements continue to reinforce that we're focusing on the right areas and delivering strong service and value for members and investors using the HUB24 platform. Shown on screen are just some of the awards and recognition that the HUB24 platform has received over the last 12 months or so, with advisors and industry participants rating the HUB24 platform Best Overall Platform in multiple surveys. Other notable awards include Best Client Experience, Best Investment Options, First in Contact Centre Support and Cybersecurity Measures, and Overall Satisfaction. For you as a member of HUB24 Super, this means that you and your advisor are supported by an award-winning platform with access to all these capabilities and tools, innovative functionality to help manage your super, broad investment choice to support you as your needs and objectives change, tax optimisation tools to deliver value, and market-leading online reporting to provide transparency and access when you want, all of which can support you in achieving your retirement objectives. Thank you for joining us today. I will now hand over to David Warren, General Manager, Superannuation Services at Equity Trustees, for the Trustees' review of the fund and member outcomes. I will also be back later in the meeting to outline what's coming up for HUB24 Super over the coming year. Thanks, David.
Thanks, Deb, for that fund update and importantly for the achievements and benefits delivered to members in the past year. I would now like to share some important updates on the Retirement Income Covenant, investment markets performance and outlook, and member outcomes as assessed by the trustee. So starting off with the Retirement Income Covenant, the covenant continues to guide how funds support members who are planning and moving into retirement. In June 2025, APRA and ASIC collected data on the retirement phase. They are now encouraging funds to take faster action to make sure members are well supported as they retire. The covenant requires funds to firstly help members maximise their expected retirement income so they can have the highest possible income throughout retirement. Secondly, to help members manage risks to the sustainability and stability of their income, including the risk of outliving their savings or changes in the market. And lastly, to provide flexible access to funds so members can choose how and when to use their money during retirement. The introduction of the Retirement Covenant aims to help funds better understand members' retirement needs. It also helps members plan, prepare, and feel more confident about their retirement. As part of meeting this covenant, your fund has published a retirement income strategy, and we encourage all members to read it to understand how it can support you in preparing for retirement. Over time, the fund will make available tools, resources and support to help you identify your retirement needs and how and where to find help. This may include education materials, reminders to review your super at key milestone birthdays, or professional advice for a more detailed plan. Everyone's idea of retirement is different. Living your ideal lifestyle in retirement requires planning. Taking time to plan can make a big difference in helping you feel confident and financially ready for your retirement. So moving on to super returns. Before we get into the details of how different markets performed over the past year, it's important to note that you or your financial advisor would have elected how your superannuation is invested in the fund based on your risk profile. The fund offers a comprehensive investment menu with many investment options. And this is a general update on investment performance overall for the superannuation industry. I want to take a moment to remind everyone that superannuation is a long-term investment. For most members, it's an investment that can stretch over 40 years or more from the time contributions begin to when retirement income is drawn. While it's important to look at what has happened in markets over the last financial year, because this is, after all, an annual members meeting, the real focus should always be on the long-term picture. 1 year is just a small part of your total super journey. And over the 2025 financial year, both global and Australian markets delivered strong results, despite ongoing economic uncertainty and fluctuating investor sentiment. The year highlighted the importance of resilience, diversification, and a long-term approach to investing. So looking at individual asset classes, Australian shares returned 13.8% for the year. The result was supported by strength in the resources and energy sectors, which benefited from steady global demand and solid commodity prices. There were periods of volatility early in the year as global growth concerns weighed on sentiment, but confidence improved in the second half, helping to lift overall returns. International shares delivered an 18.6% gain. The United States led global markets, supported by strong corporate earnings in technology and related sectors. Europe experienced more modest results, while emerging markets were mixed due to currency weakness and slower growth in several regions. And these differences across markets highlight the value of maintaining a globally diversified portfolio. The Australian listed property sector returned 13.8% for the year. Industrial property remained a key driver of performance, supported by demand from logistics and e-commerce. Retail property also showed improvement, helped by stabilising consumer spending and easing cost pressures. The sector benefited from both yield compression and stronger rental growth. Australian fixed interest returned 6.8% for the year. The environment remained challenging as interest rates stayed high for most of the period. The Reserve Bank of Australia maintained a firm stance to keep inflation under control. And toward the end of the financial year, expectations of future rate cuts helped support bond prices. Cash investments provided stable returns of 4.2% for the year. With interest rates at their highest levels in several years, cash continued to play an important role as a defensive and low volatility asset within diversified portfolios. And the results across asset classes this year remind us that markets move in cycles. Some sectors will lead while others lag, but together they demonstrate the benefit of diversification. A well-constructed portfolio spreads risk and helps investors stay on track through different market conditions. All investments carry some level of risk. It's important to understand your risk profile and how much fluctuation you are comfortable with. The trustee continues to provide a broad range of investment options, allowing members to choose the level of risk and return potential that best suits your personal circumstances. And moving on to the market outlook. Looking ahead, the main forces likely to shape financial markets over the coming year are inflation, interest rates, economic growth expectations, and geopolitical developments. Domestic monetary policy remains in focus. The Reserve Bank of Australia is walking a careful line between supporting economic activity and keeping inflation under control. That said, the global environment is layered with uncertainties, from trade policy frictions conflict in the Middle East and Eastern Europe, to potential shifts in US domestic and foreign policy, elevated geopolitical risk remains a major wildcard. Investment markets generally dislike uncertainty, and this means we should expect periods of increased volatility and the possibility of more subdued returns. If we look at member outcomes, each year we complete a member outcomes assessment to provide transparency on how the fund's products are performing and whether they continue to operate in members' best interests. The last assessment was completed in the 2024 financial year, and we are currently finalising the 2025 financial year member outcomes assessment for the fund. The member outcomes assessments consider a broad range of product attributes, including investment risk and return, fees and costs, insurance claims management, member engagement, scale, and an overall product assessment rating. Using a rating scale, the assessments provide the trustees' perspective on how each product compares with similar products in the market. All current assessments are published on the fund's website to ensure transparency and to support members in understanding their superannuation arrangements. From the trustees' perspective, these assessments enable us to share our views on the sustainability of the fund and the outcomes being achieved for members. And for members, the assessments provide an important information to consider in relation to your superannuation savings. In the most recent review, the trustee completed 16 assessments across 3 products, and pleasingly, all assessments were within trustee tolerances. And as mentioned, we're currently completing the assessments for the 2025 financial year, which are expected to be published by the end of March. Overall, the trustee considers the fund continues to be suitable for members. It's important to understand what is planned for the fund, and I would now like to hand you back to Deb, who will discuss the future of the fund and cover some of the important initiatives planned to enhance the outcomes and experiences for members. Thanks, Deb.
Thank you, David. As already mentioned, at HUB24, our purpose is empowering better financial futures together. And for members, this is reflected in our commitment to continually enhance and evolve HUB24 Super to ensure it can meet members' needs now and into the future. With this in mind, we are pleased to announce that we are developing a lifetime retirement solution, expanding the range of retirement offerings available to members. The HUB24 Lifetime Retirement Solution is designed to provide an income for life and will pay a guaranteed annual bonus for the life of the account, giving you confidence to spend in retirement. As an innovative retirement income stream, it receives concessional treatment for Centrelink's asset test, which may enable members to access government entitlements such as the age pension. So why are we developing this solution? Well, research indicates that 68% of Australians fear outliving their retirement savings and running out of funds. HUB24 data also indicates that over half of pension members withdraw only the minimum legislated amount to manage longevity risk. HUB24 is committed to supporting financial advisors to meet your needs through all life stages, and this development enables your advisor to deliver you greater financial confidence and security throughout retirement. We are excited to offer this lifetime retirement solution, and we will share more about the features and member benefits closer to launch. HUB24 recently announced plans to bring the trustee role for the HUB24 Super Fund into the HUB24 group, pending approval from APRA and other regulators. From the outset, we had an agreement that would allow us to bring the trustee role in-house when the time was right. Since that time, HUB24 Super has become one of Australia's fastest growing super funds, and we have significantly expanded our scale and capabilities. As a result, we are now well positioned to bring the role of trustee in-house. Due diligence is underway, and we will provide further updates as this progresses. In the meantime, HTFS nominees under EQT will continue as trustee for the HUB24 Super Fund as we work closely on this transition. Thank you. It has been my pleasure presenting to you, and I would now like to hand you back to David Warren.
Thanks, Deb, for sharing those positive plans for the fund. And that's the end of our formal presentation, but we'll now move to question and answers. This is an opportunity to address some of the core questions that we've received from members, covering topics such as investments, risk management, cybersecurity, and how the trustee supports members in these key areas. Please note that we're unable to answer questions that relate to a member's personal account details or circumstances for privacy reasons. So let me read the first question. What makes HUB24 unique from other super funds? Deb, I think this is a good one for you.
Thanks, David. HUB24 and its super fund differentiates itself in the market through several key aspects. Firstly, through our investment in technology and innovation, superior user interface and functionality with your online portal, Investor Hub, continuous platform innovation with product enhancements and digital solutions. Secondly, we are proud of the investment flexibility that HUB24 Super provides. Extensive investment menu, which is constantly reviewed and added to where investments meet our well-established and robust assessment process, and market-leading managed portfolio capabilities, supporting efficient investment implementation. Also, and most importantly, our leading customer service, with competitive fees and a range of solutions to support all member account types. We don't take our competitive position for granted, and we continue to invest in HUB24 Super to help ensure that it remains a market-leading superannuation fund, supporting all members on their retirement journey. Thanks, David.
Thanks for that, Deb. Okay, our next question. How do you see the super fund in the long run? Deb, can you please respond to this one?
Well, HUB24 Super is focused on delivering strong long-term outcomes for members by continuing to invest in technology, service, and the breadth of investment choice available on the platform. The trustees' priority is to ensure the fund remains sustainable, competitive, and aligned to members' needs by maintaining a wide range of approved investment options, efficient administration, and a high-quality service experience. We continue to review the fund's operations, investment governance, and member outcomes each year to ensure it remains a market-leading, contemporary superannuation offering that supports members throughout their retirement journey. Thanks, David.
Okay, next question. What is the biggest risk to members achieving good retirement outcomes on the HUB24 platform, and what is being done to address it? I think this is another one for you, Deb.
One of the key risks to members achieving good retirement outcomes is selecting an investment approach that doesn't align with their personal goals, time horizon, or tolerance for risk. As HUB24 Super is a member choice platform, each member's outcome depends on the investment decisions made with their advisor and on the portfolio they construct. To support members, the trustee provides access to a wide range of approved investment options with different risk profiles. This helps ensure members and their advisors have the tools and the diversity needed to construct an appropriate strategy. It also makes available a number of lifetime income options that provide more certainty, flexibility, and access to income in retirement. As I mentioned earlier, HUB24 is developing a new lifetime retirement solution designed to provide an income for life that will pay a guaranteed annual bonus for the life of the account, giving you confidence to spend in retirement. The retirement solution receives concessional treatment for Centrelink's asset test, which may enable members to access government entitlements, such as the age pension. And we will be in touch with members about this later this year. If members have concerns about the investment choices that best support their long-term retirement needs, we encourage them to seek personal financial advice tailored to their circumstances. Thank you, David.
Thanks for that, Deb. And our final question for today. I'm interested to hear how you plan to manage risks associated with geopolitical volatility and their effects on the markets. I'll take this one. Investing across different asset classes invariably involves taking some risk in order to achieve returns. It's always very difficult to predict what investment markets will do in coming periods. Some of the risks which may influence markets include, but are not limited to, widening global conflict, a slowing of economic growth, sustained inflation, and global credit concerns. It's important that members select investment options that reflect their risk, appetite, and investment horizon. To assist members, the trustee provides a diverse range of investments with different risk profiles to enable members to select investment options that are right for them and their personal circumstances. If you have concerns about selecting the investment strategy that is right for you, please seek professional financial advice tailored to your personal needs. And that's all the questions we will address in the meeting this afternoon. but we will respond to all questions that were raised, including those covered today, in the responses in the minutes of the meeting, which will be published within 4 weeks. We sincerely thank all members for their questions. And I'll now like to hand back to Catherine for her final remarks and to close the meeting. Thank you, Catherine.
Thanks, David, and thank you for your time and attendance today. We hope that you found the meeting useful and informative. As David mentioned, a video of this meeting minutes and written responses to all the questions raised will be available on the Fund's website within 4 weeks of this meeting. Thank you and wishing you a wonderful evening. Goodbye.